Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to listen to the gossip of that so-called Nigeria. Let us know what is happening. Let us see and hear and laugh at them from a distance. Hence, I am calling upon our brother, a man who was there as a child during the Biafran War, a man who saw it all. And today, he is a living witness. Fellow Biafrans, listeners all across the world, permit me to present to you again our brother, a friend, a comrade. I present to you the Biafran Golden Child, the real Biafran Golden Child. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're hearing my voice. This is Biafra Golden Child, and I'm super elated, very happy indeed, to communicate and interact with you people, with my fellow Biafrans, lovers of peace, Biafran lovers, and people of goodwill. Hope you're all doing well. This is a brand new week in the month of April. Today is already 14th. Just about 2 weeks to go in this month of April. 14th already. But anyhow, coping, we're alive. Thank God we're alive, we're healthy and strong, and we're up and doing. Thank God for all his mercies. Thank God that the really clear the United States of Biafra is moving on. Thank God that our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Gozera, is also moving on. Thank God she's up and doing, and she's navigating, the United States of Biafra to high levels and expected levels. Thank God equally that yes, all of Biafrans are always, at hand to give her every encouragement. Still insists that all hands must be on deck, so that Biafra will be taken, United States of Biafra will be taken to the next level. And very soon, hopefully, it will raise its head among the community of nations in the world, sovereign nations in the world. That is that. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's good to interact with you this morning. If you have been very, very close to, the mass media, you have been very close to your television in recent time, you have been close to social media, you would have, come, of course, across the story of, Senator Natasha, yes, who accused the Senate President, uh, Apkabio, Godswill Apkabio, of harassment, and other allied, you know, yeah, harassment and other allied. He has always had this Senator Onyekachi, Nwebonyi has always had brief for the Senate President, and for reasons best known to him, he has claimed vigorously, he has insisted continuously, that look, I am a witness to whatever Senator Natasha is saying or claiming against the Senate President Godswill Akpabio. I was there when whatever Senator Natasha Udwa is claiming to have happened, witnessed it, and I'm ready to testify, ready to say nothing of such happened. I want to make it abundantly clear to everybody, nothing of such happened. The lady is merely engaging in self-deception. She's trying to blackmail the president, Senate President, and she's a habitual liar and deceiver. That's what she is. That's what she has been. Have it on record. Senator Natasha Udwana is a person of very, very dubious. She's fond of saying all sort of things, especially when she wants to achieve her selfish goals. Knows how to hold men ransom. She did it to her current husband, done it to all those who come across her. He is somebody that should not be trusted. Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi, representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District, has said consistently, vehemently, and vociferously insisted that Senator Natasha Udwa should not be taken seriously and her matter should be thrown out, for a lack of evidence. He has insisted, like I told you earlier, that he was there. He was there at the meeting, at the venue where Senator Natasha claimed Senate President, Vice President Godswill Akpabio harassed her sexually. He said nothing of such happened. The lady is a pathological liar. She is a deceiver, and she's somebody who blackmails others, especially men of highly placed positions, to achieve a selfish ego and a selfish design. He said, I am going to stand as a witness. Stand me as a witness. Call me as a witness. Any day, anytime, I will stand vigorously anywhere. Look at her in the face and say, Senator Natasha Udwan, you are fake. You are a deceiver. You are a reprobate. You are not worthy to be a senator. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have been listening to the news back to back, in the past 3 months, back to back, 2 months, following Natasha's sexual harassment, charges against the Senate President, Akpabio, and eventually how she was, suspended from the Senate for 6 months without salary, without any emoluments whatsoever. And you now find out, even during so not quite too long, there was orchestrated arrangements to recall her back from the Senate, from her constituency, which eventually the INEC found to be a hoax. Yes, which eventually they found to be fake and to be, the manipulation led by her detractors. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a moralist. I'm not a preacher, but I want to bring to the fore that this man who is from Ebonyi State, this Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi, representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District, has not done well at all. We were seeing how he was, vociferously defending the Senate President, not allowing due process to follow. And he was all over the place for whatever intents or purposes he was to achieve. The whole world was watching. When this same man, Senator Nwebonyi, yes, Onyekachi Nwebonyi, embarrassed formidable figure, daughter of Biafra, this Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi not only insulted, a formidable princess, mother of Biafra land, Dr. Biagale Ezekwesili. Not only insulted her, he threatened her, he abused her, and they declared her unfit to be a mother, and that he regretted she was from, she's from Biafra descent. Ladies and gentlemen, the whole world was flabbergasted, furious, and totally, totally disgusted hearing the man who said he's a lawyer, the senator for that matter, Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi, abusing, throwing aspersions on a formidable woman, a woman of great substance, an achiever and the great daughter of Biafra land, Dr. Obiageli Sipas, one-time minister for education, one-time minister in charge of acquisition, a great woman, vocal activist for women's rights, vocal activist for people's rights, and a woman of great substance. Nwebonyi, Senator Nwebonyi treated Obiageli, as a person with contempt, abusing her, shouting her out, and calling her fit to be. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if any of you is aware of this, but I decided to maintain my silence, watching to see if this young man would eventually be remorseful and come to his senses. But obviously, he has never done that. He has continued, like a bull in a china shop, destroying, scattering, destroying, marching, crushing, and throwing bombardments. If he's not hitting at Natasha today, Senator Natasha today, calling her a pathological liar, calling her a deceitful woman, and a woman of questionable character. Then the next minute he's hitting on Dr. Obiageli Ezekwesili, calling her a tramp, unworthy to be a mother, a disgrace to motherhood, and a shame to Igbo land. Ladies and gentlemen, if this does not offend you, if this does not upset you, I am upset. I am offended. But let's leave it at that point. Let's leave it here. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to your notice that an association, Ebonyi indigenes, yes, the Association of Ebonyi indigenes, sociocultural in the diaspora, AEISCID, the Association of Ebonyi indigenes, sociocultural in diaspora, for short, AEISCID, quote unquote, a prominent governance and accountability group has issued a stern rebuke to Senator Onyekachi Ebonyi, representing, yes, Ebonyi, not senatorial district. Yes, Ebonyi, not senatorial. They are rebuking him. They have sent him, has issued a stern rebuke to him, for his aggressive public statements regarding the sexual harassment allegations involving Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Senator Natasha Akpoti-Odoa. In a statement released Tuesday in Abuja, AEISCID's worldwide president, Ambassador Pascal Olochukwu, condemned Senator Nwebonyi's words and actions as totally unparliamentary, unwholesome, and unbecoming of a legislator. Olochukwu criticized Nwebonyi's persistent media appearances, disparaging remarks, and toutish disposition towards those demanding accountability from the Senate President. He argued that Nwebonyi's behavior demonstrates a fundamental misunderstanding of his legislative responsibilities. He went on, "We have watched, read, and listened with deep concern to the reckless pronouncements of Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi." Olochukwu stated. He pointedly mentioned Nwebonyi's verbal attacks on figures like former Minister of Education, Dr. Obi, and his treatment of Senator Akpoti-Odoa. Initially hesitant to intervene, AEISCID felt compelled to speak out due to Nwebonyi's continued media umbrages, which they deemed a diversion from his duty to legislate and represent his constituents with dignity. The group expressed dismay at Nwebonyi's voyages in defense of the accused, suggesting he was crying more than the bereaved. They questioned his motives for abandoning legislative duties as a back-carrying toll for the Senate President, asking what inducements could have led him to ridicule the people of Ebonyi with his shameful name callings. They also condemned his unprovoked anger towards those calling for an investigation into the allegations and the undemocratic suspension of Senator Akpoti-Odoa. AEISCID strongly condemned Nwebonyi's conduct and cautioned him to respect the Ebonyi brand he represents. They alleged that Nwebonyi might be angling for political favor, possibly a governorship bid in 2027, but warned that Nwebonyi, that Ebonyi State would not tolerate the worst among us in leadership. They urged Nwebonyi's constituents to initiate recall proceedings if he continues his disgraceful expedition in defending the Senate president. Enough should be enough, statement concluded. So, ladies and gentlemen, I was just telling you how despicable it has been, how very painful, shameful that a Biafran son, a son of the soil, Nwebo, Onyebo for that matter, would bring himself to such a level of ridicule. Every other day since this Senator Natasha Saga came up, since this accusation against the Senate president, it has been Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi saying this, saying that, saying this, playing PA to the Senate president, playing thuggery, playing touting, flagrantly showing that he was totally incapable of representing the Ebonyi people. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a shame. You don't have to cut your nose to spite your face. It's a very big shame that a legal practitioner for that matter, this young man has behaved in a manner totally unacceptable and indeed shameful to all Biafrans. And so it's not surprising that the Association of Ebonyi Indigenes to Cultural in the Diaspora, AEISCID, quote and unquote, a prominent governance and accountability group, has issued a stern rebuke to Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi, representing Ebonyi North Senatorial District, for his aggressive public statements regarding the sexual harassment allegations involving Senate President Apkabio and Senator Natasha. The group felt very, very embarrassed that a son of the soil, a fellow Ebonyi man who should be fighting vigorously, to bring the dividends of democracy, to bring proper electoral benefits to his people, instead continues to play the clown, instead continues to dance naked just to please the Senate president. They were very, very vexed and wondered what he is aspiring to achieve. What does he want? What is he hoping to achieve? What has the Senate president promised him that makes him act like a clown, that makes him act like someone without a brain? How can you, a senator for that matter, in the full glare of the whole world, in the full media, under the full auspices of international media, local media, and social media, you come and you are talking blah, blah, blah. I am a witness. This woman is a pathological liar. She's shameless. The Senate president can do no wrong. He did nothing. I'm fully aware. I was there. Is this what he was sent for? Is this what he was sent to do? What is his motive? What are his aims? And they said, no. If it is because of gubernatorial election 2027, you better watch it. You better watch it. Ebonyi people will not give it to you. We will never give any electoral vote leadership to the worst of us anymore. We have regretted it in the past. Yes, if you are not careful, if this is your way of buying votes, of making the Senate president or the governor of Ebonyi State, Francis Winfrey, to ridicule him or to seek any other means of taking over in 2027, Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi, you better go and sit down. You will not achieve anything. We will never tolerate it. You have continued to disgrace us by your purposity, pomposity, and recklessness. You use words that I don't know. We don't know if you know the meaning of the words you use. How dare you insult somebody? Somebody is such a personality like Dr. Obio Zakwesi. Who are you? What is your surname? What is your surname for you to accuse Obio Zakwesi and call her a shameless woman? Told her she doesn't want to be a mother. She's a disgrace to womanhood. How dare you? What do you have? Who is your surname? Who is your father? Senator Onyekachi Ebonyi, for you to make such reckless, disdainful, very, very reckless statements. It's a big shame. It's as if you don't know your onions. Don't you know what you're doing there? So they have cautioned him and they have warned him, restrain now. You better change now or else you will be disgraced. You will find it very, very unpalatable with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think the word is clear. I don't want to dwell much on this. We, as fellow Biafrans, should respect our elders. We know how it is that we suffer in this country called Nigeria. And so, any one of us who manages, struggles, makes a name, becomes a personality, should never be ridiculed, should never be disdained, should never be embarrassed, should never be cursed by any other Biafra. That is why we're saying that what Dr. Obviously suffered at the hands of a neophyte like Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi was totally avoidable and reckless of such a senator. He shouldn't have done that. He should never have abused that woman. He should never have told her she was a disgraced woman. On what authority? Who gave him the capacity or the capability to make such a statement? It is a shame. And then for him to be following the Senate president like a houseboy, here and there, anywhere the Senate president is going, he's pursuing him about, carrying his bag and luggage like a houseboy. Is this what Ebonyi people sent him to do at the Senate? Is that what Ebonyi, not senatorial zone, sent him to do? He left, providing the dividends of democracy. He left bringing the much needed legislative attention to his people. And is there touting for a dog like the Senate president, who does not know what the Calabar people are known for, who does not know what the Akwa people are known for. Our own son, Onyekachi, Nwebonyi, stood out and has started dancing naked in the whole world, bringing shame on this people, Ebonyi people, bringing audio to Ebonyi people. That is what we shall never tolerate. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we should be very careful. The kind of leadership we have in the Southeast, in Biafra land, is a very shameful one. Recently, we saw where an association in the Diaspora was asking President Donald Trump, to facilitate a visa ban on Southeast governors, for Southeast governors and their aides and families because of their, irresponsible graveyard silence over killings by Fulani herdsmen and other, incendiary groups. Those people will see what happens. They will see their people killed, their villages burnt, farmers' crops destroyed, the women raped and gangrened. What they will do is look the other side and pretend nothing happened. Meanwhile, slightest touch on any Fulani jihad, the slightest touch on any cattle header, the slightest attack on any cattle header, the whole, armory of government is brought out for full and immediate reprisal to any such people who did such things. Now, this same association of Ebonyi indigenes, sociocultural in the diaspora, in bracket AEIS-CIT, prominent governance and accountability group, issued a stern rebuke to Senator Onyekachi, telling him, you better refrain from this dirty politics. You better refrain from this talk rate. You better refrain from this act of foolishness. You better refrain from dancing naked like a madman if you want Ebonyi people to take you seriously. Our legislative house, our senatorial house is not for clowns. It's not for houseboys. It's not for slaves. It's not for those who have not performed but are seeking a higher place. If your intention, if your ambition, if all this foolery is to attract the gubernatorial election in 2027, if you are trying to wrest power out of Honorable Francis Nwefuru, the governor, the executive governor, you are wasting your time because you will not even come back to that Senate. You are a disgrace to Ebonyi people. Those are their words, not mine. Those are their words. And to think that this same Senator, Onyekachi, Nwebonyi, is from the same state as our, Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, to think that he emanates from that state baffles me. It baffles me. Because we think Ebonyi people, we're not Ebonyi people to be astute, to be intelligent, and to be very proactive. We know them to be decent people. We know them to be people who are, driven, purposeful, driven into actions. We know them as people who are intentional in their actions. We don't know where this man came. This reprobate. This one who comes out and everything about him is how to, praise, sing praises, how to thanksgiving for the Senate president, allowing, preventing due process to follow is a shame. Somebody, a fellow senator, accused the Senate president of sexual harassment, brought it to the full glare of the Senate. Let it go the normal course. Let it go the normal course so that everybody, all eyes will see, yes, that transparency was involved. They will see that, yes, Senate president, step aside, let somebody else be there. Let's get to the end of this. If at the end of it, it is found that you are not guilty as charged. If we find out Senator Natasha was overstepping her bounds, she will be called together to order. And then the Senate will flow continuously, but not when our own son, our own Senator Onyekachi, Nwebonyi, will come out and start acting like a man who hates women. He hates all the women in the world, misogynously. He attacks Senator Natasha, he attacks Obioza Kwesili, he attacks everything womanhood. Who is he? What surname does he have? To embarrass a personality, a formidable personality, a matriarch of the Biafra land, in the person of Obioza Kwesili, two-time minister, one for education, one for due process, the director general of due process. How can Senator Nwebonyi condescend so low? What was in him? Was he under influence? Was he under the influence? We heard that at the Senate, a lot of them are abusing drugs and alcohol. Was he under the influence? But he's doing this every other day. Is he every other day is under the influence? Ladies and gentlemen, if you know him, if he's related to you, caution him. Word is enough for the wide. Yes, Biafra people of Biafra descent must respect themselves. We must show that we respect authority. We must show that we follow due process. We must not be like that. If we say Nigeria is a zoo country, if we say Nigeria is a shithole, if we say Nigeria marginalizes us, if we say Nigeria is not giving us the best opportunity to grow and develop, if we are claiming that we are treated like a defeated people, if we are saying that these people act lawlessly without any consideration of the rule of law, if we are saying that due process is not followed in anything concerning the Igbo people, we ourselves, Senator Onyekachi, we ourselves must be seen to project a positive image always, project, transparency and rule of law always. Yes, when you're pointing one hand at somebody, four is pointing back at you. Always call a spade, not an agricultural history. Ladies and gentlemen, enough is enough for Senator Onyekachi, my boy. He has been warned. He has been warned severally. He has to be very careful. Otherwise, the die will be cast for him. Yes. Otherwise, he will soon find out he's standing on banana peels. And of course, the fall will be tremendous. You know how they say it. 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 That pride goes before a fall. Pride goes before a fall. Senator Onyekachi, Nwebonyi, be careful so that this pride, this clownishness, this foolish pride will not destroy you and your political ambition. Your reckless statements, your reckless condemnation, your irresponsible attitude to Obioza Kwesili was shameful to the Holy Bola. Watch it. Be very careful. Be very careful. All right, folks, that should be it for now. This audio is strictly warning Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi, representing Ebonyi North Central District, to be very careful. You know what we do in Biafra Superstar Media, especially as the Biafra Golden Child. I'm very, 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 very much interested in anything concerning my fellow Biafrans, whether man or female, male or female. I'm interested, and I want to make sure that at any point in time, yes, their integrity must be, maintained. You don't rubbish somebody like Obioza Kwesili in my presence. You don't say such rubbish, no matter whose ox is God. Senator Onyekachi Nwebonyi, retrace your steps and be properly guided. So you're a legal practitioner. Show that you have undergone, the rudiments of law. Thank you. God bless you all. Long live the Federal Republic of long live the redeclared United States of Biafra. Long pray for success to Deputy Prime Minister. We also pray, for a successful trial. Yes, successful trial release of our Muslim leader, Mazen Nandekanu. Yes, of course, we know our Prime Minister is still being incarcerated in Finland. He's undergoing interrogation, but we know he's in good hands. Finland is a place that respects the rule of law and order. God bless you all. Thank you, and God bless you.
Yeah, check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Logan, Bloomington, Lord Logan, and it's wild Flora show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.